Welcome to Lesson 4 of Module 1 of the Python programming course given by Subaraj Academy. Before we proceed, make sure that you have carried out programming as I did in the previous 3 lessons. If not, stop, go back to the previous 3 lessons. You must complete assignment 1.1 before we proceed. Python calculator can be used like a scientific calculator. Stop using handheld calculator now on. Start using Python instead. Every programming language has a set of rules. Programming is carried out using many atomic elements. They are called tokens. You see the different types of tokens available in Python in this slide. The name of any object or item, function and class is an identifier. The rules governing an identifier is given in the slide. For instance, var1 is a valid identifier. One var is not. There is no limit to the length of the identifier. Coin identifiers such that by looking at it you can recognize what it means. For instance, int underscore rate. Don't use single-letter identifiers like x, y, or z. Keywords are also known as reserved words of Python, meaning that they have specific meaning to the Python interpreter. They should be used for giving specific instructions to the computer. These words cannot be used for any other purpose such as naming a variable. Python is a concise language containing only 35 reserved words, and this is one of its strengths. You can see true and false are keywords in Python. In every program, we use different data types such as name, register number, marks, etc. Some of them like name, register number will be constants and others like marks may be variable. They have to be assigned to identifier for use in our programs. A variable can be assigned only one value at a time but can change value during program execution. A constant, on the other hand, as the name indicates, cannot be assigned a different value during program execution. For instance, pi, if declared as a constant, cannot have its value changed in a given program. If pi has been declared as a constant equals 3.14, it should not be reassigned any value in the program. To distinguish named constants from variables, the identifier of constants are formed using uppercase letters. E.g. pi, sigma. Variable names are, on the other hand, formed by lowercase letters. Mark. Literals or raw values are data that are stored in a variable or constant. The slide mentions 7 types of literals. Numeric type includes numbers and booleans. Python supports 4 types of number systems: binary, base 2, decimal with base 10, octal with base 8, and hexadecimal with base 16. Complex numbers can also be used in Python. Let us try few example programs now. Run idle from your desktop. Open a new file. Type the following on the idle notepad. First 2 lines are comments and not executable. Then we carry out addition of x and y and print the result. In the last statement we are finding the modulus, in other words remainder, when we divide 5 by 2. It should print 1. The result of executing the program is given in the next slide. You can easily verify the correctness of the result of the program. The real number means a floating point number. The real numbers can also be written in scientific notation. For instance, in the scientific notation, 7.0 is equivalent to 7e0, 453 is 0.453 times 10 to the 3 or 4.53 times 10 to the 2 or 45.3 times 10 to the 1, and 0.5 is 5e-1. Note that both uppercase e and lowercase e can be used in the scientific notation. 45.3 times 10 to the 1 is nothing but 45.3 asterisk 10 to the power of 1. Now repeat the 7 operations with real numbers. Convert the integers to floating point numbers and try the previous program. We didn't specifically say whether the number is an integer or floating point number. The Python system interprets it correctly always. This program demonstrates use of the following built-in functions of Python. Real. imog. Conjugate. Note that conjugate means that the sign of the imaginary part in a complex number is toggled. Try to do the calculation in a paper and verify that the results are correct. Note that we call these functions in conjunction with an object by using what is known as dot operator, for example x. imog. In this case, the object is x. Python supports the type Boolean or bool. There are 2 outcomes of a Boolean expression: true or 1, false or 0. Any non-zero integer will be considered as true and 0 as false. Type the program E3x4 by opening a new file in idle and saving it in the same name. Then run it. Most languages define operator precedence to avoid ambiguity while evaluating expressions like 7 plus 9, 3. What is the correct answer? Is it 5 or 10? Verify in Python calculator. However, there are no separate operator precedence rules for Python. We can assume the same standard rules for evaluating mathematical expressions for Python as well. Understand the precedence or priority of operators. If more than one operator of the same precedence exists in an expression, then they are evaluated from left to right if the operator is not repeat, not exponentiation. If the operators are exponentiation, then we evaluate from right to left. Try the expressions in a paper. Confirm by checking in Python shell or idle shell. Find out the value of y given in the last line of the slide on a paper by doing one step at a time. Did you get the correct answer? Y equals 24. We come across a number of expressions. For instance, mark obtained by a student is increased by a number, say 5, to take care of the toughness of the examination as given below. Mark equals mark plus 5. Such expressions can be written in a different style when one of the variables in the right-hand side, RHS, includes the variable in the left-hand side, LHS. The following example will make it clear. The general form is express 1 equals express 1 plus express 2. This can be also written as express 1 plus equals express 2. In a similar manner, we can write D equals D, A plus B, as D equals A plus B. Try this program in idle and analyze results. Did you get the same results? We observed that if one of the operands is a float value, then we get the result of the operation as a float. That is exactly type conversion. This is implicit conversion. We can also convert explicitly. We can convert a float to an integer explicitly by prefixing int as given below. Int float underscore num. Here are some type conversions allowed in Python. Read carefully the last 2 lines. Thanks for watching. That's all for now. Until we meet again, bye bye.